A leaked Chinese design document from April 2026 describes a stealth cruise missile with 3 specific claims: length under 4 meters and diameter under 0.85 meters, range of 1,330 kilometers, and a subsonic cruise speed of Mach 0.71 to 0.75. The document explicitly states the weapon is intended for internal carriage inside the Chengdu J-20 and Shenyang J-35. But here is the immediate problem. Either the J-20 nor the J-35 was designed primarily for maritime strike. The J-20 is a heavy stealth interceptor optimized for air superiority with PL-15 and PL-17 air-to-air missiles. The J-35, still maturing with the improved turbofans, the Shang-19 or an upgraded WS-21, is a carrier-based multi-role fighter with a primary mission of fleet defense. Forcing a 1,330-kilometer cruise missile into their internal bays means sacrificing air-to-air loadout, something no competent air force would do in a contested environment. Let us examine the numbers coldly. A 1,330-kilometer range at Mach 0.71 implies a fuel-efficient turbofan engine, likely liquid-fueled similar to the Exocet Block 3, not a solid rocket motor. That means the missile is relatively large and heavy, despite its compact length. The J-20's main weapons bay is estimated at 4.5 to 4.7 meters long, so the missile physically fits. But fitting is not the same as operational integration. Internal carriage requires ejector mechanisms, separation testing, and center of gravity adjustments that have never been publicly demonstrated. The PLA has shown no footage, no loading exercise, no test launch from either fighter. Until that evidence appears, the claim remains a paper concept. The American AGM-158C LRASM is the closest analog. It has a 926-kilometer range, a subsonic speed of Mach 0.85 to 0.9, and a weight of 1,250 kilograms at 4.26 meters length with a 2.7-meter wingspan. The LRASM cannot fit inside any fifth-generation fighter bay, including the F-35. The U.S. chose to carry it externally, accepting a significant radar cross-section penalty in exchange for proven reliability and a larger warhead. China claims its missile is smaller and stealthier. But stealth is not binary. A missile small enough to fit inside a bay carries less fuel and a smaller warhead. To reach 1,330 kilometers, it likely cruises at high altitude, where long-wave radar can detect it anyway. The trade-off is far less elegant than the designers suggest. Here is the central argument that most analysis misses. This stealth cruise missile is far better suited to the H-6 bomber than to any stealth fighter. The H-6K and H-6N already carry the KD-21 air-launched ballistic missile, a hypersonic weapon with terminal speeds above Mach 6 and ranges confirmed operationally. The H-6 has the payload capacity, the structural margin, and the mission profile for standoff strikes. It does not need to be stealthy because it launches from outside enemy engagement zones. By contrast, forcing this missile onto a J-20 or J-35 forces those fighters to fly deep into contested airspace, risking their expensive airframes for a mission they were never optimized to perform. The PLA knows this. That is why the H-6 remains the primary launch platform for every long-range anti-ship missile in their inventory, including the YJ-21 and the nuclear-capable JL-1. The stealth fighter integration story is either a propaganda leak or a niche secondary role, not the main effort. Let us look at what actually flies. The H-6 has been photographed carrying 4 KD-21 missiles on external pylons, each with a reported range of 400 to 1,000 kilometers. And another H-6 variant carries a single massive missile, designated CHASX-13 by NATO and reportedly called JL-1 by the PLA, which was displayed at the 2025 Victory Day parade as a nuclear-capable air-launched ballistic missile. Some unconfirmed sources now claim the JL-1 has a range of 8,000 kilometers, placing it in the intercontinental category. These are not prototypes or design documents. These are operational systems with deployment units, loading crews, and exercise footage. The H-6 family is a mature, high-readiness strike platform. The stealth fighter missile, by contrast, has no such proof. That disparity alone tells you where China's real investment lies. To be clear, the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence, but the PLA has never been shy of showing off new capabilities. The DF-17 was paraded, the J-20 was flown publicly, the YJ-21 was displayed at Zhuhai. Yet there is not a single image of this compact cruise missile inside a J-20 or J-35 bay. There is no weapons loading video, no separation test footage, no range validation flight. The leaked Weibo document contains no serial number, no test unit designation, no manufacturer stamp. Until those appear, the responsible analytical position is skepticism. This may exist as a design study or a technology demonstrator, but as an operational system integrated into frontline stealth fighters, the evidence is currently zero. Assume for a moment the missile is real and eventually integrates into J-20s and J-35s. What changes in the Indo-Pacific? U.S. carrier strike groups would face a new threat axis, stealth fighters launching long-range stealth missiles from outside the carrier air wing's detection range. That compresses reaction time and complicates defensive layering. But the scale of the threat matters more than the technology. China would need hundreds of such missiles and dozens of stealth fighters dedicated to the anti-ship role, pulling them away from air superiority missions. That is a resource allocation problem the PLA has not solved. The H-6, by contrast, can carry multiple missiles per sortie without sacrificing fighter cover. So even in the best case for this new missile, the H-6 remains the more dangerous platform. The final verdict is this: China has designed an interesting stealth cruise missile on paper. The 1,330-kilometer range and compact form factor are technically plausible, but the claim that it will be carried internally by J-20s and J-35s is unsupported by any hard evidence and contradicts the PLA's own force structure, which already uses the H-6 bomber as its primary standoff strike asset. Until test footage, loading manuals, or operational unit markings appear, treat this as a concept, not a capability. The H-6 with KD-21 and JL-1 is the real threat today. The stealth fighter missile is a hypothetical addition that may never reach the flight line. Watch for separation tests from a J-20. Until then, the balance of power in the Western Pacific remains defined by bombers, not fighters.